Why did the creation of Zombieland Double Tap take 10 whole years? Which dead characters are gonna make a comeback? What did we find out about the newest movie? And why is Zombieland 2 predicted to have a terribly low box office outcome? Hi, I'm Tim, and you're watching Ossa'm Movies. From both trailers and tweets from audiences that saw the new Zombieland previews, we can assume that the sequel succeeded in keeping their vibe from Part 1. Beginning to end, pure comedy and crazy action. Everybody is gonna love this film. Zombieland Double Tap is a bloody blast. This long-awaited sequel is well worth a 10-year wait. A twisted blend of comedy and horror, with bigger and badder zombies, and loads of other similar reviews. The same cast, but a whole new level. Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, and Abigail Breslin all managed to get an Oscar nomination in the interval between shooting the two Zombieland movies, and Stone went a step further and won. They did, however, bring new blood into the cast by introducing Zoe Deutch, who is now acting in The Politician on Netflix, and Rosario Dawson, who acted in Sin City, Grindhouse, and even in movie Rent. From the cast list, it looks like we can expect the return of the hero, Bill Murray, as himself. As I remember, he was shot and flung from off a roof, so did he survive or become another hungry zombie hunting for human flesh? We'll soon find out. Besides, there's another reason to think that this sequel will be a good one. The crew working on Double Tap is the same one that worked on the first movie. But why did it take so long to air this sequel, considering the first movie was released 10 years ago? We gathered a list of rules for how to take ages making a sequel for a successful movie, following the example of Zombieland screenwriters. Rule number 1. Create a successful film. Obviously, no one will care for a sequel if the original movie is a failure. Zombieland covered its budget by a fivefold and left a big footprint in pop culture. You can find websites dedicated exclusively to the 33 Rules of Columbus, and everyone knows by heart that rule number 3 is beware of bathrooms. Rule number 32 is enjoy the little things, and rule number 2 is Double Tap, which became the name of the sequel. Even though the slasher Zombieland ended up being quite heartwarming, it still had loads of brutal scenes, like the one where Tallahassee decimates zombies in the amusement park. After the outburst of positive feedback, the release of the movie's sequel was simply a question of time. But in 2009, no one had the faintest idea how much time and effort it would require. For those of you who think that 10 years is not a lot of time, look at this picture of Justin Bieber from 2009. Get my point? Rule number 2. Keep working on the script until you make it spectacular. Ruben Fleischer, who directed both films, always says that it's crucial for him to implement the right idea at the right time. Immediately after the success of the first film, studio naturally wanted to do a sequel, and we developed a script with Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese, the original writers, explained Ruben. But it just kinda didn't hit all the... It wasn't quite what I think everybody was excited to go make, and so we kinda put it on the shelf. The project was postponed, and everyone went to do other work, becoming busy quite quickly thereafter. Screenwriters received new properties, actors got cast for new roles, became Oscar nominees, and became more experienced. Woody Harrelson said that he doubts he will return to do Zombieland again, and in general, the idea of the sequel seemed less and less feasible. Rule number 3. Don't give up. In 2013, Sony announced that they are still keen on making a sequel, but screenwriters of the original movie were head deep in the creation of Marvel's Deadpool. For this reason, they had to search for someone else to write the plot of the sequel. This someone else became David Callahan, who wrote Horseman and worked on the 2014 Godzilla. Together with Callahan, Ruben Fleischer began writing up new drafts. Rule number 4. Gather everyone you love. Soon, the writers of the first movie found time to start writing the new script, and shortly after presented their draft to the team, which approved it. 8 years after the release of the first film, Woody has said that, of all the movies he's made, when fans come up to him, the movie that they are always mentioned is Zombieland, explained the director, and so he felt like a real responsibility that we don't tarnish the original and making a sequel. So he especially was like very exacting when it came to the script. Finally, all the members of the old crew affirmed the screenplay. We would never have made another one if we didn't think it was going to be great, said Jesse Eisenberg. However, after dealing with the script, they came upon a new problem. The ingenious director of Zombieland, Fleischer, was at the time busy filming the movie Venom with Tom Hardy. But postponing the movie again was not an option, as the whole team could not wait to start shooting the film, to have it release on the 10-year anniversary after the premiere of the original movie. Rule number 5. When ready, take action. Having only a week's break after shooting Venom, Fleischer began to work on the new project. Usually the filming and editing of a movie takes 1 to 1.5 years, but you'll be surprised how fast their team wrapped up. Filming began in January 2019 and lasted until March. Then in October, the movie was ready to be shown on the big screens. You might think that half a year is plenty of time, but even for a movie lacking any special effects, it's not enough time. But because the premiere was held up by a week, originally it was scheduled for 11th of October, the producers managed to keep their promises and release the new movie exactly 10 years after the first one. Rule number 6. Have faith. Together with those who were looking forward to seeing the sequel, there also were the haters, which criticized the movie, saying that when Zombieland first came out in 2009, the zombie theme was still new and relevant. The subject of zombies started gaining popularity together with The Walking Dead, and it peaked several years ago. Here's what Screen Rant wrote about the upcoming premiere. The film hasn't had a lasting cultural impact, which means audiences are not as interested in or attached to the first film anymore, even if the sequel is arriving on the 10th anniversary of the original. However, Google search proves that Zombieland's popularity is growing each day, and they have a high chance of breaking its own record for box office revenue by producing a new legendary, satirical yet heartwarming slasher that we are looking forward to see. Sony Studios and the director Ruben Fleischer made every effort to embody the idea that they carried for a decade. The day of release, 18th of October, is the day we are all waiting for. Those who have seen it, tell us if it was worth the long wait in the comments down below. Give this video a like and subscribe to our channel, where we post videos about our favorite movies every day. And as always, stay awesome!